Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving deep into the complete roadmap for becoming a chartered accountant, a CA in India. We're going to cover it all, from who can apply, what the exams are like, and, maybe most importantly, the surprising finances behind the whole journey.
So let's just get right to it. The big questions on everyone's mind. Can you really become a CA in just 4 years? And could you actually do it for free? It sounds a little too good to be true, right? Well, we're going to dig into the real timeline, the actual costs, and see if that promise of a free course really holds up.
Think of the CA journey like this. It's a clear path with 3 major milestones. First up is the foundation. That's your starting line. Then you level up to the intermediate, which is where you really get into the tough stuff and start your practical training. And finally, it all leads to the CA final, the last mile. So let's walk through this path together, starting right at the beginning with the foundation.
Okay, so step 1, the foundation. This is your official way in, your entry ticket. And the first thing you need to know is that the door to get started is probably a lot wider open than you think.
And this is a big one, so listen up. It literally doesn't matter if you studied arts, science, or commerce. As long as you've passed your 12th grade exams, you're in. The path is open to you, and there's no minimum percentage you need to have. That old rule is gone.
So, what does this first exam actually look like? Well, you've got 4 main papers. Each is worth 100 marks. The rule to pass is pretty simple. You need at least 40% in every single paper and a 50% average overall. So that's 200 marks out of 400. But where it gets interesting is how these papers are structured.
Now this is where you need to get strategic. The first 2 papers are subjective, written exams. You get 3 hours and there's no penalty for a wrong answer. But for papers 3 and 4, it's a completely different ballgame. They're multiple choice, faster, only 2 hours, and here's the kicker. Wrong answers will cost you. That negative marking means you've got to be smart about which questions you even decide to answer.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room for a lot of people, math. So many students worry about this, but let's just bust that myth right now. You do not need to have taken math in 11th or 12th grade to become a CA. The only time you'll really have to buckle down and focus on it is for this one paper, right here in the foundation stage. Once you clear this hurdle, advanced math pretty much takes a backseat.
So, you've passed the foundation. Awesome. What's next? Well, you're climbing up to stage 2, the CA intermediate. This is where you get into the real meat of the theory, but it's also where the course introduces a hands-on experience that is absolutely critical to becoming a CA. And that experience has a name, Articleship. It's basically a mandatory 2-year apprenticeship. You're working directly under a practicing CA, so you're not just reading books, you're in the trenches, learning how it all works in the real world. And here's the real game changer. You get paid for it. You earn a monthly stipend while you train.
And that stipend, that's the secret sauce. That's how we get back to our big question from the beginning. How on earth can this course potentially pay for itself? Come on, let's do the math.
First, let's look at the money going out. The official fees you pay to the institute for registration, exams, all that stuff. Over the entire course comes out to roughly 90,000 rupees.
But now for the fun part. Let's talk about the money coming in. During that 2-year articleship, even with a pretty conservative stipend of, say, 10,000 rupees a month, you're looking at earning 2,40,000 rupees. So just look at how this plays out. Let's be generous and add another 50,000 for coaching classes. Your total cost is around 1,40,000, but the stipend you earn is almost double that. You can literally cover every single rupee of your education and still have money left over. Now, after you've done all that, after you pass the final exam, what's waiting for you on the other side?
All right, so you've made it through the fire. You've gone through the whole journey, and you've earned that title. What does being a CA actually get you? Well, it boils down to 3 incredible things: a unique kind of power, fantastic pay, and just massive potential.
This right here, this is the core of a CA's power. It's a legal thing. By law, every single company in India has to have its financial statements audited and signed off by a chartered accountant. No other professional has that specific authority. It literally makes CAs essential to the entire business world.
And that kind of essential role, well, it pays well, really well.
On average, a freshly qualified CA can expect a starting salary somewhere between 12 and 15 lakhs a year. And that's just the average. Top performers, the ones who really hustled during their articleship, can see packages hitting 40, even 50 lakhs right out of the gate.
And getting your CA qualification isn't the end of the road. It's a launch pad. You can go start your own firm, climb the corporate ladder in auditing or tax, jump into financial consulting, or even high-stakes investment banking. Or hey, you can take all that financial knowledge and launch your own startup. Plus, this qualification is recognized in dozens of countries, so it's a truly global career.
So, we've seen the roadmap, we've seen the rewards, and they are impressive. But let's get down to it. What does it really take? What's the one thing, the secret ingredient you need to actually succeed on this journey?
And here's the honest truth. It's not about being some kind of born genius or being the top of your class. Success in the CA course really comes down to something much simpler: consistency. It's about showing up, day after day, putting in the hours regularly, without big gaps. Students from every kind of academic background have made it through, simply because they were disciplined and consistent.
So there you have it. The path is tough, for sure, but it's also incredibly rewarding and, as we've seen, surprisingly affordable. The roadmap is laid out right in front of you. The only real question left is, are you ready for the journey?